Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Adam Cellini. Topping our shows tonight, lightning striking near a home on Casey Key, starting multiple fires. 30% of that home is now destroyed, and firefighters are just now leaving the area after responding way earlier this morning. ABC 7's Jess Dowdrick is joining us live from the scene on Casey Key Drive with the latest. And Jess, what happened out there?
Adam, this fire started around 9 this morning, and fire crews just left the scene about a half hour ago. That means they were on the scene here for 10 hours. Now, it did not take them that long to put out the flames. They simply were cleaning up after a propane tank was leaking. They were burning off that propane. Now, luckily, no one was inside the home when the lightning struck, as the home is up for sale. Now, firefighters say there were 2 separate fires when they arrived on scene, one in the home itself and another in the grass next to the fence surrounding the home. The state fire marshal has wrapped up the investigation, ruling that both fires were caused by lightning. The lightning actually hit a pole and the power line, which sent a surge into the home, sparking the fire.
This time of year, when you have the thunderstorms rolling through, it is actually quite often. Just last week we responded to a lightning strike. Now, many times it's trees. They get hit by lightning. That's what we respond to, brush fires. Not so often homes.
As views evolve and
Now, Chief Kona says that it's actually very rare for lightning to hit a home, and it was very unfortunate, obviously, in this case. Now, Casey Key Road, where this fire happened, that is open to traffic now. Reporting live on Casey Key, Jess Dowdrick, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Jess, thank you very much. Also, Sarasota County firefighters had to respond to a different fire at a duplex on Marbeth Street in Sarasota earlier this late afternoon and evening. Firefighters arriving at that scene where the front unit of a front and back duplex was actively burning. Crews were able to quickly put out the flames, and the back unit of that duplex did not suffer any damage. The front, however, was not so lucky.
And we're able to quickly knock down the fire. We had no injuries to residents or the firefighters, but we did have the resident's dog was deceased during the incident.
The cause of the fire is still unknown at this time. A state fire marshal has been called in to further that investigation. Well, lightning and storms causing all sorts of trouble this Saturday. A lightning strike also taking out traffic signals at University Parkway and US 301 around 9 this morning, shutting down traffic until law enforcement could arrive on scene to replace those signals. The weather also forcing officials to close down Manatee County beaches due to lightning. Let's head over to Wendy Ross. And Wendy, I mean, you could tell all morning that lightning was really intense.
It was bad out there, and especially when you could hear it all the way to the east as well. So that's been the kind of weather we've been experiencing throughout the day, and we're going to see this pattern developing again tomorrow. What we're looking at right now is that showers are continuing to move onshore, and we've got plenty of moisture out here in the Gulf of Mexico. Isolated pockets of thunderstorms moving on into the area, but as they hit the shoreline right now, we're seeing them pretty well die down, and then they start to reinvigorate east of I-75. We're seeing these flare-ups right here moving on towards the east. So we're going to see this for the next couple of hours, and for the most part right now we're getting some lighter rains moving on in, and then once again we get those flare-ups that are taking place east of I-75, and then those are pushing off towards the east as well. So we're getting those thunderstorms right now. In the past 12 hours, this is how much rain has fallen. We're probably going to start to see these numbers pick up a little bit, especially east of I-75 in Manatee County. But look at the pockets of rain we've already had. So just stay tuned. There's more on the way for the rest of tonight. Adam?
All right, thank you very much, Wendy. Back here on the Sun Coast, we're seeing homes and condos popping up all over the place, some even priced in the millions. But a local real estate expert says those new properties could be bringing down the costs of other homes for rent. Here's ABC 7's Erica Jackson to explain.
It's too much, and it doesn't seem as though the price is based off of an average family.
Desmond Peterson and his wife want to raise their son in a single-family home on the Sun Coast, but can't afford the high monthly payments for a rental. That's why they settled for this Bradenton apartment. He believes increased development is adding to the high prices for rental homes.
And then building up, but it doesn't really, I mean, you're building up, but I don't see anything worth skyrocketing the price.
Home rental expert John Michaelides says all of that residential construction is actually helping bring down the prices of local rental homes.
That's increased supply, and you've got that combined with the ever-increasing rates, and there's a little bit of leveling out of prices because people have a lot of choices.
Real Property Management's quarterly report for Sarasota Manatee found rental rates in 2017 are going down for the first time in 5 years. The average monthly rental for a single-family home in the Sarasota-Bradenton metropolitan area is $1,700 a month, a 2.9% year-over-year decrease.
Rates have been on the rise for so long, it's just natural that it has to ease at some point.
The rental rate is increasing nationally, and Michaelides says the local price drop will bring our rent prices closer to the national average.
What we're getting is a more normalized rental market as compared to an accelerated hot market that we were in for years.
But even with an increase of vacant rental homes locally, Peterson doesn't think families are getting their money's worth.
The rent in Bradenton is somewhere between 16 and 17, and the houses aren't even up to date.
And according to that data, more than a quarter of single-family homes on the Sun Coast are rental properties. Well, despite the weather forcing cleanup efforts to end early, the city of Sarasota employees spent their morning working to keep Lido Beach clean. This is the second beach cleanup employees have hosted since adopting Lido Beach in January 2017. The beach adoption gives volunteers a chance to help preserve one of the city's most treasured natural assets while connecting with other employees. Local law enforcement also helped join in on that effort. Well, Pineapple Park at the corner of Lemon Avenue and Pineapple Avenue is now officially named Paul N. Thorpe Jr. Park. The reason is Mr. Thorpe is a man many refer to as Mr. Downtown, leading the Downtown Association's charge in downtown Sarasota by creating the Farmers Market, the New Year's Eve Pineapple Drop, the Downtown Sarasota Holiday Parade, the Memorial Day Parade, and even the 4th of July fireworks on Island Park.
Paul graduated from Penn State University, and their motto is making life better. And ever since he and Joanne arrived here in town, that's what he's been doing. Basically, helping people have fun and making the downtown a great place to live, work, and play.
Certainly a strong legacy for Mr. Thorpe. On Friday, the newly restored Mermaid Fountain was also unveiled at the park. Well, you may remember a story from 2 summers ago. 2 14-year-old Florida boys on a small boat in the Atlantic, alone and fishing when they apparently got caught up in a storm. The boat was later found, but those boys were not there. Well, Monday will mark 2 years since Perry Cohen and his friend Austin vanished after they set out to go fishing in the Jupiter Inlet. Now Cohen's mother has slapped a wrongful death lawsuit against the Stefanos family. This after the Florida Department of Law Enforcement concluded that the boys' disappearance was avoidable and that there was probable cause of violations of child neglect. According to the civil lawsuit, Pamela Cohen told the Stefanos family that Perry was not to be on the boat without permission and an adult on board. The lawsuit also alleges the boat was not equipped for trips into the ocean. Well, still to come here on ABC 7, President Trump looking to show military support this weekend, taking a trip to the USS Ford amid a flurry of heated tweets over multiple Russian investigations. And a Manatee County icon reaches yet another record milestone. How the community is celebrating.
Consumer Cellular makes it easy to stay in touch with family and stay within our budget.
Now our cell phone bill is only a fraction of what it used to be.
Our average customers get everything they need for about $25 a month, and plans start at only $10 a month with no contracts.
Consumer Cellular has a great choice of phones. Check out my new one.
I picked this simple phone.
I use my son's old smartphone. Kept my number, too.
Consumer Cellular has been an approved AARP provider since 2008, and members get exclusive discounts.
It's a good thing Consumer Cellular is always there, because sometimes I need a little help.
Sometimes. We're proud to have received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service among non-contract wireless providers.
Over the years, we've seen a lot of change.
We actually use change. Luckily, there are some things we can still afford.
Like consumer cellular.
Stop paying too much for wireless service. Switch now, and for a limited time, get a $20 credit on any new line of service. Call 1-800-920-3084. Go online or visit a Target store today.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
A promise was made. A promise that hit the beaches of Normandy. A vow that captured Iwo Jima. A contract that weathered Tet. A pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq. An IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
Monday at 5 on ABC7, your Suncoast News.
The 2 common drugs that can reverse fetal alcohol damage after birth in Health Smart.
Monday at 5 on ABC7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Welcome back. President Trump is trying to change the focus to the military this weekend after a storm of tweets this morning and a staff shakeup on his communications team. ABC's David Wright has more.
President Trump at the USS Gerald Ford, the most advanced aircraft carrier ever built.
This ship also ensures that if a fight does come, it will always end the same way. We will win, win, win.
But it's the president fighting his corner now, blasting out tweets at what he calls the fake news media. This one aimed at the Washington Post and its bombshell scoop on Attorney General Jeff Sessions. Despite Sessions' denials that he ever met with Russians about the campaign,
I never had meetings with Russian operatives or Russian intermediaries about the Trump campaign.
The Post reports that U.S. intelligence services intercepted phone calls from the Russian ambassador contradicting that. Trump's reaction? Quote, "These illegal leaks, like Comey's, must stop." Sessions is already in trouble with Trump. Days ago, the president expressed his frustration at Sessions' decision to recuse himself from the Russia investigation, telling the New York Times, had he known about that, he would have picked somebody else to be his attorney general.
He's not afraid to throw loyalists under the bus.
Remember, if the president fires the attorney general and tries to replace him, that's a position that gets confirmed by the U.S. Senate.
At the White House press office, a major changing of the guard. Press Secretary Sean Spicer is out. Businessman Anthony Scaramucci is in. He was not always a Trump fan.
I personally apologize for the 50th time. I love the president.
Today, Scaramucci tweeted, "Full transparency, I'm deleting old tweets. Past views evolved and shouldn't be a distraction." Purging his account of all past snipes at his new boss. David Wright, ABC News, Washington.
Those Florida teens who police say did nothing to help a drowning man may now be facing charges. A warning that the video you are about to see may be upsetting for some viewers. 5 teens ranging in age from 14 to 18 recorded this video and mocked Jamel Dunn, who was crying out for help in a retention pond. Authorities previously said the teens would not be charged because Florida does not have a law obligating citizens to render aid or call for help for anyone in distress, but police say they have now found a statute that does require a person who witnesses a death to report it to the medical examiner.
And after a lengthy conversation with State Attorney's Office, we've made a determination at this time we are going to charge the juveniles with the statute under 406, which is a misdemeanor.
Police say this statute has never been applied in a case quite like this. The state attorney's office will ultimately have to make the decision on whether charges are filed. Manatee County's legendary mascot Snooty is celebrating his 69th birthday. The South Florida Museum hosting that birthday bash in celebration of Snooty's record-breaking milestone. Visitors to the museum today also got to take part in that party with half-price tickets, free cookies, activities, and exhibits promoting wildlife awareness.
I'm having a lot of fun because it's apparently Snooty's birthday, and with all these events, it's super fun to come out to an event like this that's really local.
I've seen him actually many times. I was here last year for his birthday.
The 69-year-old manatee is in the Guinness Book of World Records as the oldest manatee in captivity. In the wild, manatees rarely make it past the age of 10.
And he's 69?
69. I hope we're not, watering it down. I mean, just because every year's a milestone doesn't mean it's any less amazing, right?
That is amazing, but he's amazing. I remember going and getting to see him.
Yeah, really?
I think he was celebrating maybe his 10th or 15th birthday. I don't
Very
remember,
photogenic, too, Snooty. Yeah, Snooty always able to pose for those pictures.
He loves the camera.
Yeah.
He loves the camera. He's just a character.
Awesome.
I'm so glad he's one of ours.
And he's inside, which was nice for him today because it was a little sketchy out there.
It was very sketchy, especially with all the lightning around. I mean, we talked about it at the top of the hour, but we had lots and lots of lightning. Look at the gray clouds. I mean, it is one of those cloudy evenings. It's been a cloudy day, and as a result of all that cloud cover, we only had a temperature high of 87 degrees today. That was where we topped out, was 87. 90 is where we're supposed to be, but you got to have a lot of sunshine around for that, and we just didn't see it today. 75 degrees was the overnight low, and so that's certainly in keeping of where we normally are. But back in 1984, it was obviously a sunny day then because we got up to a high of 98 degrees. And right now, we are seeing some sunshine at the airport. It's 80 degrees right now there. Dew point humidity levels are high. The winds are calm, and we're going to see a few more showers still coming on into play. Now, in the past 24-hour period, this is what it's been looking like around the area. And notice that we just get pockets of very, very heavy thunderstorms, and this pattern is going to repeat itself again tomorrow with the showers setting up along the west coast and then drifting over to the east coast. And we'll see pockets of heavier thunderstorms in some locations, some places hardly getting anything, but all of us are going to be seeing cloudy weather throughout the day tomorrow. And what we're going to be looking at is these showers are going to continue to come on in throughout this evening, and then they'll pick up again tomorrow. And as they come onshore, they tend to die down, and then we get these flare-ups taking place east of I-75, and you can see that now beginning to move on into DeSoto and Hardee counties from Manatee County. So that's what's going on right now. Many places not getting any rain at this point, but still some cloud cover out there. That's what's going on for the most part. We may get some clearing that takes place, but just be prepared. Take that umbrella with you for tonight if you're heading out the door, because we may see these showers coming on through. But notice that the rain chances continue to go down. So at 7 o'clock, we're at a 40% chance, and then we see it down to a 30% chance till 11. And then the overnight time period, we're not looking at much of a chance of rain, but picks back up starting at 3 o'clock tomorrow morning. 20 to 30% chance of rainfall. And by tomorrow, during the early part of the day, we're back to a 60% chance of rain starting at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. So the rains are going to come on in. You can see them developing along the coastline. This is starting at 8 o'clock in the morning, and they just continue to move on through. And then during the afternoon hours, we're going to get more rains coming on in. So just be prepared for that. The tropics are quiet. They're expected to be quiet for the next 48-hour period. So if you're going out on a cruise, that's good news if you're heading on out to the Atlantic. If you are going to the beach tomorrow, expect to see those winds coming in out of the south at around 10 knots. Seas 1 to 2 feet. It's going to be a light chop out on the bay and inland waters. The temperature will be about 89 degrees. The Gulf water temperature is 89, so you're not going to be able to cool off one way or the other, really. But we'll get those scattered storms tonight. Partly cloudy skies, a temperature reading of about 76 degrees. Those isolated thunderstorms tomorrow with a 60% chance of morning and afternoon showers. We're going to lower that down to about a 20% chance during the evening hours. And this is what it looks like, that 60% chance of rain for Sunday. On Monday through Saturday of next week, it's a 40 to 50% chance. And we may get those temperatures back up into the 90s again beginning on Monday. Adam?
Now, sports.
There's just one race left in the Tour de France, but we may already have ourselves a champion. Britain's Chris Froome will carry a 54-second lead into Paris on Sunday, which many feel all but guarantees a victory. This will be his 4th Tour de France title, one away from tying the career record of 5. Froome finished 3rd in Saturday's time trial in Marseille. He has not finished 1st in any of the 20 stages so far. Well, before tonight's Rays-Rangers game, Tropicana Field belonged to some younger fans learning how to exercise with some help from their big league idols. Team trainers and players leading exercises and a few friendly competitions right there as part of the National Play Campaign, which stands for Promoting a Lifetime of Activity for Youth. Saturday's event also promoted the importance of including kids with disabilities in activity with support from the Ruderman Family Foundation. Infielder Matt Duffy and Gold Glover Kevin Kiermaier were there to help take kids through some of those drills and share their own lifestyle advice.
Get off your phones, your tablets, all that, and I told them, I said, go play in the rain, go get muddy. I hope your parents don't get mad at me for saying that.
Since 2004, the Play Campaign has conducted more than 300 events inside all 30 major league ballparks and also became the first program in pro sports to include children with disabilities back in 2014. And in just a few minutes, the Rays will be taking the field trying to avoid their 3rd straight loss behind the arm of all-star pitcher Chris Archer. The Rangers coming back from a 3-1 deficit in the 9th inning to win last night's game 4-3. The first pitch in that game will be at 7:10 tonight. More to come here on ABC 7. Stay with us.
What if you had a medical emergency away from home?
My chest hurts. I can't breathe.
What you need is Mobile Help, America's premier mobile medical alert system. Most systems only work at home, but with Mobile Help, you get help outside the home with coverage nationwide on one of the largest cellular networks at the press of a button. Call the number on your screen for a free full-color brochure. We'll send you everything you need, including this base station, the patented mobile device, and the waterproof pendant and wrist button. You can also add the fall button that automatically detects falls and signals help. Call today and receive a risk-free 30-day trial. There is no equipment to buy and no long-term contract. For a limited time, you will also receive a free emergency key box with your plan purchase. Remember, Mobile Help keeps you safe coast to coast.
Call 1-800-916-8638. That's 1-800-916-8638.
Invest in Kids is a $7.5 million project to build a new Boys and Girls Club in South Manatee County. I'm Caleb Grimes, and I was a club kid. It's where I learned important life lessons, leadership, integrity, responsibility, and baseball. Thousands of kids attend the Boys and Girls Clubs, and after years of use, their club is slowly falling apart. Help us invest in kids. Make your donation today.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
7 minutes.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
Start your day with a new Good Morning Suncoast team. Weekdays starting at 5 a.m.
The technology just isn't quite matching up to the expectations at Universal Studios' new water park, Volcano Bay. Visitors reportedly unhappy with the virtual line technology nearly 2 months after that park's opening. Several park visitors say they are frustrated with the bracelets that allow them to virtually stand in line because they can only tap into 1 ride at a time, and the waits can be as long as 3 hours. I guess that's what happens when you don't have to wait in line physically. Well, break out those Santa hats and red and green outfits if you're living down in Venice, because Christmas is here. Well, Christmas in July anyways. The city of Venice wrapping up that 2-day shopping celebration downtown. Dozens of shops and restaurants on that strip there offering deals, while the city itself offered shoppers free Christmas trolley tours with Mr. and Mrs. Claus right there in attendance.
Glasses and contacts. You need them to see, but they put such a strain on your life, you miss precious moments. Due to new advances in vision improvement technology, LASIK is now affordable for almost everyone, with procedures starting as low as $299 per eye and over 1 million procedures performed by our trusted independent surgeons. LASIK surgery is a sensible, safe, and affordable solution to improve your vision. Our simple 3-step process begins with a free evaluation, followed by an extensive preoperative exam to determine if you're a candidate for LASIK eye surgery. Depending on the results of your evaluation and eye exam, you and your surgeon will choose the LASIK option that works best for you. So call now to talk to a LASIK Vision Institute counselor and schedule your free evaluation. That's a $100 value, free. Call the LASIK Vision Institute for your free evaluation and enjoy more of your life.
Call 1-800-813-0109. 1-800-813-0109.